There's a saying that says your brand, your personal brand, any type of brand, is the conversations people have about you when you're not in the room. The conversations that people have about you or your business when you're not in the room. So when I came to the coffee shop, there was the barista slash owner and another gentleman. They said they were having a conversation about me. And not just me, my daughter and my wife, about our business and everything, and it was an all positive conversation. I was like, wow, it's good to be talked about. But again, it goes back to how you treat people, how you if it's a business, how your customer service has to be top notch, taking the time to talk to people, because people start talking. And he asked, he wanted to do a collaboration for a nonprofit with my daughter's business. So you just never know how you're going to impact people. So always do your best, just to take the time to talk to people if you can, because you just never know. You just never know. So I just got done with my last meeting of the day, and what's really interesting is something that's very undervalued is compounded learning. Compounded learning. What I mean by that is as you go through different phases of, let's say, a project, or let's just say a project, you learn so much in between, whether the mistakes, the fails that you made, the wins that you have made, and what happens is you can leverage that into the next thing. And what happens is, and I'll be the first to admit that I've done this. I did not value the learnings or took the time to reflect, to really extract all the learnings out of that project to leverage it into the next project. And I'm getting more disciplined around that, probably more disciplined than I've ever been. And that's been a theme of, especially the last two calls that the meetings I was in. So for instance, if you've been following along, we just sold one of our companies. 6 weeks. In 6 weeks. Now I'm using that learning and I'm applying it to my second portfolio company, which is speeding up that process. Because once I had those learnings, I had somewhere to really quickly apply those learnings to. And it's such an undervalued asset, because things are moving so fast in our lives. We're trying to hustle to the next thing without really almost to the extent productizing those learnings, turning them into a product that can actually be sold again. So I'm getting a lot more disciplined around that, because not that I didn't see the value of it, it's just that I undervalued it. That's the whole thing. I undervalued those learnings, and I just want to share that with you so that you don't undervalue those learnings as well. So with that said, I'm about to head back to my office. It's beautiful out today, as you see the blue skies. So I'm about to head back to my office and get back to it. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking an easier way to just understand compounded learning is just understanding. You're building understanding. And what that means is you're able to look under the hood and see what's standing certain processes or workflows up. That's the easiest way of putting it. It's you're growing in your understanding on how things work, how things don't work. And that is what's compounding over time. And it's just about building that muscle over and over and over again, over and over and over again. And eventually you'll be able to leverage this understanding, provide value, and you get more optionality around the value that you can provide, and really just be more leveraged. And that's been my theme word in all the meetings I'm going into, is being leveraged. How can we be leveraged? Is this the most leveraged way of doing this? And that's that's been like the drum beat that I've been saying. So I just wanted to add that other piece because I'm sitting here thinking about it. I want to just simplify it, like you just get understanding. Today's been about brand and brand development. So a part of the infrastructure that I'm building, I believe I shared this with you. There's four different phases of it. The first one is brand identity, and I can't really see it here, but there's in order for me to go into a private equity firm, M&A firm, the number one thing is implementing a brand program, taking them from A to Z, help raise the profile of their firm, because at the end of the day, private equity does take a bad rap. There's so many different stigmas attached to it once a private equity firm is involved in something. So a part of my goal is to try to do my best to put the foundation in place to change some of that perception. You're not going to change it all, but at least some of it. And that's through branding, in all the different touch points of the exercise of branding, looking at the essence of the brand, what it is. And I talked about this earlier, how people act, think, feel about you when you're not in the room. And that's what, trying to help them create. So in this exercise, looking at the vision, the mission, mission, and as the core piece of it, and the purpose as the core piece of it, and then it bleeds out into the interactions, how they interact with potential portfolio companies. That interaction can look like being at the right event at the right time. That interaction can be, who the people that you're hiring, and how you're profiling the people that you're hiring, and the team that you're building. All these different touch points. A lot of PE firms don't even have time to think about this, and that's where the opportunity is. So I'm sitting here, just putting this all together. I'm working off of this handy sheet. Like I said before, it started in AI, but now I'm putting my human genius, human intelligence to, what I partnered with one of my AI agents to come up with the framework. Now I'm just drilling down into it and, retooling it in a way that it makes sense for what I'm doing. So just want to keep you in the loop with that. Definitely want to, if you have any questions about branding and like what you think about brand, put in the comments. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I'm done for the day. Today was a really good day. Have a really good grasp on Q3. Still setting up some of the goals, some of the things that looking to accomplish. But other than that, things are, in a good position. With that said, if there's anything in this video that resonates, please like to hear from you in the comments. I'll be hanging out there for a little bit. With that said, peace.